Yeah.
So, for example, when I was young, whenever I failed my exams, oh God, you're so bad. I was, and you're so young, and you blame God for not letting you pass. But you know, if you did, the question there was, did you study? Oh, I did not. I went out. I played. But that's again going back to what you said a while ago about having what Carl Jung said, that if you don't put the unconscious to the conscious, it's going to be called fate. And
Right.
so as a young child, I blamed it all on fate. Oh, it's because this and that. It's all I just failed. But come to think of it, after reflecting, if you studied or if you paid attention, then maybe I would have passed the exams when I was young.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those are the things, right? The little things, the simple things, the things that we don't really take time to realize that, oh, if I were more thoughtful, if I was more mindful, then maybe I would have chosen, like your fur coat, I would have chosen something else, or I would have put
Hmm.
my money somewhere else.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Reflection is also good for discovering who you are. Like I'm thinking about like journaling, but it's discovering who you are. Well, why do you feel the way you do right now? What's causing you to feel like that? When something comes up, when your body gets tense, why am I feeling tense?
Yeah,
Why am I thinking the way I'm thinking?
yeah,
What's the root cause of my feelings? It's kind of like when you reflect, and this is good, that's why people hire coaches, is because reflecting can be like a mirror showing you who you are. And
true.
like Covey said, it's like asking yourself the hard questions, but not only asking yourself the hard questions, answering it. Because a lot of times, even somebody might ask you a hard question, and guess what? The first thing that comes to your mind is, I don't know. But taking the time to really evaluate what is actually going on here.
Yes, true. And that is reflection.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what comes to mind also is when you reflect, so I placed three letters for here. UAI. You understand,
UAI.
you accept, and then you improve yourself.
Very nice. UAI.
Yeah. You understand. Because when you reflect, you understand.
Through reflection, you'll find out your true desires or
Mm,
your what you want for yourself. You're not paying attention like I was to societal desires or
mhm.
norms, but to what I really want.
Yeah, true.
Well, or what I really want.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And you know what comes to mind right now is I don't know if whoever watched Mulan and she says, "Who is the girl I see?" Staring right back at me because there
Yeah.
was a transformation. And when we do look at ourselves in the mirror and really look, like in one of the past episodes, Marcella really shared also about looking at ourselves, the mirror, and see that reflection. And if that reflection is something that you want, you really are who you really are, or somebody that's really affirming
Hmm.
that person that you want to be or not. So only you can see, and that's again brought about by hard questions and reflection.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really wonderful. So, Marcella, can we challenge or can we do homework for our listeners about seeing yourselves in the mirror and looking at yourself in the mirror and asking, what is my greatest fear that's stopping me?
That's a good question to answer. What is my greatest fear that's stopping me? And
Because a
then
lot, yeah, go
go
ahead.
on. No, go on.
Okay, just it's just that sometimes we feel stuck, we feel we cannot move forward, and we really need to reflect and see why. What am I afraid of?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
And
go.
that's the title of this episode is Feeling Stuck, How Reflection Can Help You Move Forward.
Yeah.
And that is the key, I believe, to moving forward a lot of times is to ask yourself the hard questions. Ask yourself what's going on. And like you said, the primary question is what am I afraid of? What am I
Mm,
afraid of? And then when you answer yourself, the next question, should be? What's the worst thing that can happen? And normally you'll find out that the worst thing that can happen, whatever is the worst thing, it's really not that bad.
Yeah.
And so I am encouraging you to stop being fearful and move out in the unknown, in the past the safe zone, past your comfort zone, into whatever you're afraid of.
Yeah, that's true. And until you pass over that fear, you'll stay there. You'll stay stuck.
Hmm. Yeah.
Well, this is another very introspective topic. And even for myself, discussing it made me like, okay, after this, I'm going to do my reflection. How how have how have I been the past week, month, since January perhaps?
Yeah. Yeah. I tend to try to reflect. And I say try, I hate the word try, but I say try because I'm not 100% consistent, but I am pretty consistent. I reflect every Sunday on the week prior. What's going on, why certain things happen, or just really try to reflect and get into who I am and who I want to be. My apologize. I'm a little tired today, and so I'm like kind of rambling a little bit, kind of not talking that correct. But what I want to say is I think reflection has a lot to do with intention. And so
Mm.
that is my goal for the year. I kind of set an intention, but my intention for the year, the word is intention, is being intentional with everything that I do. So my health, what I eat, exercise, my business, just really being intentional about everything. So I think that reflection causes you to be intentional about how you live.
Oh, perfectly said. So, yeah, speaking of that, it's nice to have a word for, well, a month or a quarter or a year, like Marcella has intention. So, when we were talking about this earlier this year, mine was dynamism. I think this year was going to be a lot of dynamism for me. I have to have my energy up, my mindset, and everything else. And it's part of reflection. It's how do you want this year to be? How are you going to face forward? What are the steps you're going to do to be what you
Hmm.
want to be? Because
Hmm.
we're always work in progress, as we said.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So, and the role of reflection is something that some people would just dismiss. I have no time to reflect. That is only for when you go to a retreat. No, you can, in 2 minutes, 5 minutes, you just sit there and look at the roses, go to a park. I mean, sometimes even while you're in transit, wherever you are, you can just sit down and reflect instead of complaining about traffic, complaining about the weather. Sit down and take time to reflect.
Good idea. Good idea.
Yeah. So again, parting words, Marcella.
Have any real parting words? I think that this was a good session
Mhm.
on reflecting and how reflecting can really change your life. How reflecting can cause you to be more self-aware. And how reflecting is imperative when you are trying to bring the unconscious to the conscious. I guess I did
Yes.
have some parting words.
There's always a parting word. So thank you, friends, for listening, for watching, and staying with us. And this has been Yvette Carillon and
Marcella Crank, and you have been listening to Soul Food Sanctuary. And if you got anything out of it, we want you to smash that subscribe button, hit that like, and share it with your friends.
all
And
right.
comment, and tell us about how you reflect, what reflecting has done in your life. All right,
Yeah.
bye for now.
Bye for now.